you still have some unfinished business. Have you ever read the Bible and was like, yes, God? I was reading Joshua 13:1, and it says, when Joshua was an old man, the Lord said to him, you are growing old and much land remains to be conquered. When I read that verse, one phrase stood out to me. Much land remains to be conquered. God wasn't ignoring Joshua's age. He acknowledged it. He also reminded Joshua that his assignment wasn't over. I think many of us need that reminder today. Maybe you've convinced yourself that because your age, your past mistakes, your disappointments, or simply because you're tired, you've missed what God had for you. But God says much land remains to be conquered. In other words, you still have some unfinished business. As believers, we never retire from God's purpose. As long as God has given us breath, He has given us an assignment. The question isn't whether God still has purpose for your life. The question is, what territory has God called you to conquer? For some, that territory is your home. God is calling you to lead your family to faith. For others, it's extending forgiveness to someone you've held resentment towards. Maybe it's sharing the gospel more boldly. Maybe it's serving faithfully where God has planted you. Maybe it's finally taking the step of obedience God has been calling you to take. Starting that business, writing that book, beginning that ministry, saying yes to the very thing you fear keeping you from God. What encouraged me as I continue reading is that God didn't just tell Joshua there was more land to conquer. He also said, I myself will drive these people out. That's Joshua 13:6. What a promise. Joshua still had to move forward, but he didn't have to rely on his own strength. God promised to go before him. The same is true for you. God isn't asking you to accomplish your assignment alone. He's asking you to trust Him enough to take the next step, knowing He's already gone before you. So don't let your age stop you. Don't let disappointment stop you. Don't let fear, exhaustion, or yesterday's failure convince you that your assignment has expired. Keep trusting. Keep obeying. Keep following Christ, because there is still territory for you to conquer. There is still unfinished business that God wants to accomplish through your life. Your age doesn't cancel your assignment. Your past doesn't cancel God's purpose. As long as God has given you breath, there is still land that remains for you to conquer.